having one of the usual after-work events organized by the EAGE Local Chapter of Paris, except that due to the current situation, we are not having it in the usual form, which is a discussion followed by a cocktail, but we're having it as an online event. Today's event in particular is not special only because of the format, but also because it's a cooperation between the local chapter of the EAGE and one of the special interest community of the EAGE, notably the Decarbonization and Energy Transition community. So my name is Giovanni Sosio. I'm based in Paris. I work for Schlumberger. And my role here, like the reason why I'm introducing this is because I'm part of the committee of this special interest community. So my role will be to introduce a bit the EAGE and this community to the participants. Can you see the second slide?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Good. So what's the EAGE, the European Association of Geoscientists and Engineers? It's one of the largest European industry association with about 19,000 members. It's been around for nearly 70 years, and though it's based in Europe with the head office in the Netherlands, as you can see from the map, not even half of the members are based in Europe. So it's actually a global organization that is expanding its footprints outside of Europe as well. The activities that the EAGE carries out, like most of similar organizations, are most notably the organization of events. The most famous is probably the annual conference, which is due to be held in Amsterdam later this year. We will talk about another event later on. Publications, both journals and books, educational programs such as programs where distinguished speakers are touring locations in Europe to give talks throughout the year, but also student programs, not only in the forms of teaching, but also in terms of other type of events meant for students, and support programs for communities or associations or teams that might have some need for support of various reasons. For example, the local chapter of the EAGE organized these events with financial support from the EAGE this evening. It was supposed to be used for the organization of, for the sponsoring of the event. With this current form, it hasn't happened, but it's one of the examples of the support that the EAGE can give to the local communities. It has, in terms of organization, the EAGE has two main divisions, one which is the oil and gas division, and the other one which is the near surface division. But it also features these special interest communities, of which one I will introduce later, and the local chapters, including the one in Paris. There are several worldwide, but Lucia will introduce the Paris local chapter that organized this, this evening. So I'll speak a bit about the special interest communities. The objectives of these communities are to foster discussion and networking on specific topics which are of interest to the members of the EAGE. So you can see the two of them have existed for several years. One is Women in Geoscience and Engineering, and the other one is for young professionals. Both have been around since 2013 and have more than 1,000 members. But two communities were founded last year and launched at the last EAGE annual conference. One is on artificial intelligence, and the other one, which I represent, is on decarbonization and energy transition. So the committee has been named in late 2019, and the number of members is increasing. We are near 400 today. More details. So this was launched we launched with the intention of responding to the interest by the members of the EAGE to cover topics that were not only in the traditional oil and gas or near surface geophysics, but also in renewable energies, energy transition, and low carbon transition in general. The objective, like the EAGE in general and the special interest communities in particular, is to promote the exchange of knowledge on energy transition, and to develop the geoscientist and engineer skills to face the energy transition. There are specific initiatives on that the special interest community is carrying out. One for the skills is the mapping of the skills that are needed or that might be required for geoscientists to embrace different tasks in the energy transition. And in terms of knowledge, we are currently working on mapping the training and university opportunities for students and professionals that want to develop themselves in energy transition. And of course, I've added a collaboration with the local chapters, of which this event is an example. On the promotion of knowledge, one last point that I want to mention on the activities of the special interest community is a conference that we're organizing in France for November, which will be dedicated to the role of geosciences and engineering in the energy transition. So the conference will have 5 main tracks or themes: geothermal energy, CO2 storage, underground energy storage, cross uses of the subsurface, and one topic on the solutions, the societies, and the role of the governments on policies, governance, and the role of the society in the energy transition. So for this, the call for papers is now open, and we're inviting all interested scientists, engineers, professionals, and other stakeholders to join the conference. I think I can pass the word to you, Lucia, to introduce the local chapter.
Yes, and I will try also the video. Okay, Local Chapter Paris was founded in September 2018. Our intention was to engage with the multicultural and multidisciplinary network in Paris and internationally within the EAGE, to promote talent and innovation, and to foster the recognition of the geoscientific profession in the community at large. And you can move to the next slide, please. Okay, the board of the Local Chapter Paris, we are 8 people. As you can see, the board is quite young and diverse, and we work in an agile and distributed governance mode. You can move to the next slide. We organize events, about 1 event per month, when there is a summer break as well, so we don't have events during the summer, and also when there are major problems like the strikes in Paris. And we alternate very technical events in this specific rise, or assessing uncertainties in geophysics and geoscience, and also lighter events like geology and enology and the walk in the Ile de la Cité. We have also co-organized events with other societies, in professional societies in Paris, like Société Géologique de France and Associalion, and this one now with the Decarbonization Energy Transition Special Interest Community. Next slide, please. Okay, so we invite you to follow us on LinkedIn, EAGE Local Chapter Paris, and you can contact us at paris.localchapter.eag@gmail.com, and we will be excited to see you joining us in this exciting adventure. And now, yes, a few ground rules for to have the good progress of this afterward. You have noticed that by joining this meeting, your microphone was muted and the video was off. So please keep it this way to facilitate the good progress of our afterwork. You can write down your question to the chat to everybody. Some of you have already experienced it. Otherwise, to activate the chat, you just move the mouse pointer downwards on your video screen, and then you will select the icon chat, which is shown by the red arrow here. After each presentation, we will take questions for about 5 minutes. At the end of the 4 presentations, we will have a panel discussion open for questions posted in the chat. And just before leaving the platform, please turn on your video so that we can take a nice screenshot to post on LinkedIn and also to share with the EAGE. So the spirit of this meeting is the pleasure of sharing and learning. So a very big thank you to our speakers, Nada, Paul, Laurent, and Christophe, for working on this for us. And thank you all for your interest in your after work. We can show the slide with the program.